The era of Avatar Korra teaches us about some legendary benders. A flying airbender, a day-walking bloodbender, and the very first Avatar ever?
Avatar Korra is super powerful too.
I agree! Let's check out some of the most powerful benders in the Legend of Korra with this Skill Evolution playlist.
And when you're ready for more Korra, watch Avatar, Braving the Elements, here on YouTube, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I figured you would show up sooner or later.
Here is a closer look at Zahir's airbending evolution. As we study Zahir, we'll break down how this non-bender became one of the greatest airbenders of all time. Like dozens of other airbenders, Zahir gained his abilities from the events of Avatar Korra's battle with Vaatu, but his bending evolution began way before then. Zahir grew up with no bending abilities at all, but he has always demonstrated a strong appreciation of the bending arts, particularly the airbenders. He spent most of his time reading about Guru Lahima, an airbending master who lived thousands of years ago.
It is said that he unlocked the secret of weightlessness and became untethered from the earth, living his final 40 years without ever touching the ground.
But how can this power even be possible? Not even the Avatar has ever unlocked such an ability. That was the question Zahir spent his entire life trying to answer.
Let go your earthly tether. Enter the void, empty, and become wind.
Zahir's quest led him to the Red Lotus, a secret society dedicated to New World Order. He moved up the ranks and eventually became their leader. With a team of elite benders at his back, he was ready to unleash chaos on the whole world.
True freedom can only be achieved when oppressive governments are torn down.
But that won't bring balance. It will throw the world into chaos.
Exactly. The natural order is disorder.
That's when he met Unalaq, the chief of the Northern Water Tribe and uncle to Avatar Korra. Together, they organized a mission to kidnap the young Avatar.
Luckily, your father, Lord Zuko, Chief Sokka, and I were there to stop them. We apprehended the criminals and locked them away in prisons designed to impair their abilities.
Each member of the Red Lotus was thrown into a prison specially designed for each bender. Even Zahir's prison was on an isolated mountaintop. He spent 13 years in that cell, but just as he was about to lose hope, there was a change in the wind.
When you base your expectations only on what you see, you blind yourself to the possibilities of a new reality.
So how exactly did Zahir just suddenly wake up with airbending? A few weeks prior, Avatar Korra battled Vaatu during a major celestial event called Harmonic Convergence. The spiritual energy surrounding the planet had shifted drastically, altering the energy of every person in the world. In the weeks that followed, dozens of people were waking up with airbending abilities. This was going to be the return of the Air Nation.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I woke up and suddenly I could do this.
Mom! I Kaya! I got another one!
Remember, Zahir learned from studying Guru Lahima, so he already had a major head start compared to the other benders.
Now that man's a leaf.
You seem to know a lot about airbender history for someone who just got airbending. Where did you say you were from?
A small village up north. You've probably never heard of it.
Wait. Zahir.
With his airbending, Zahir became absolutely untouchable. His evasiveness was strong enough to simply wait for openings and deliver a powerful airstrike.
Hold it right there!
Not only was Zahir mastering the physical side of bending, he was also mastering the spiritual side. Through meditation, Zahir can enter the spirit world at will, an ability that only a handful of benders can achieve.
Zahir!
Every day, Zahir grew stronger and stronger. But he knew if he was gonna finish what he started, he couldn't do it alone.
He's out, isn't he? I'm feeling warmer already.
13 years in prison gave Zahir plenty of time to plot what he was gonna do after he broke out. He's a master tactician who plays to his team's strengths, and being able to airbend puts his team over the edge.
It's nice to see you again, Gazan.
Thanks for busting me out.
While breaking out the combustion bender Pali, he created an entire blizzard. Using his airbending, he generated enough wind to create a shielding snowstorm. After busting her out, the Red Lotus was back.
Really? Right now?
It was time to move forward with their plan to take out the world's leaders one by one.
You wouldn't dare attack a queen!
Maybe I forgot to mention something to you. I don't believe in queens. You think freedom is something that you can give or take on a whim. But to your people, freedom is just as essential as air. And without it, there is no life. There is only darkness.
After the Earth Queen, the Avatar was next. Zahir made several failed attempts to hunt Korra. Now it was time to make her come to him.
I want Korra, and I'm tired of chasing her.
I will never let you get to Korra.
Unfortunately, you don't have a choice.
Yes, I do.
We've never seen two powerful airbenders go at it before. Zahir had met his match with Tenzin. And if it hadn't been for his team to back him up, Zahir would have easily lost.
Give up. It's over.
As long as I'm breathing, it's not over.
With the airbenders captured, it was time for him to come face to face with the Avatar.
Nowhere to go, Zahir!
In his first battle with her, he was outnumbered, going against Korra and her father Tonraq, a waterbending master.
Say hello to the Earth Queen for me!
Dad!
Zahir was already one of the most powerful benders in the world. But there was one more missing key that would unlock his true power.
Please!
It's over, Zahir.
Let go your earthly tether.
Release the Avatar.
Enter the void.
This is your last warning.
Empty and become wind.
No! Stop!
Did he just fly?
How'd you figure out how to do it?
I found true freedom. I am no longer bound to this earth by worldly desires. I have entered the void.
With the power of flight finally unlocked, there was just one thing left to do. The time came to destroy the Avatar cycle forever. The plan was to poison Korra and kill her while she was in the Avatar state.
Now! Destroy the Avatar!
the last of the Red Lotus was defeated. But that wouldn't be the last time we saw Zahir.
I figured you would show up sooner or later.
Mysterious, radical, and undeniably charismatic. Amon started a revolution that could have rid the world of benders, all the while hiding and exploiting the fact that he was secretly a bloodbending master. Now it's time to dive into Amon's journey and explore how his bending evolved to make him one of the most powerful and terrifying villains ever. Let's go back to where it started in Republic City. Amon was the son of a crime boss named Yukon, notorious for using the illegal practice of bloodbending. Now up to this point, we'd only ever seen it used during the full moon, as explained by the waterbender Hama.
I control every muscle, every vein in your body.
Upon his guilty verdict, however, Yukon mystified the entire courtroom, bloodbending everyone inside while handcuffed and without the need for a full moon. Even after catching up to Yukon, Aang couldn't defend himself from this kind of power without going into the Avatar state.
I'm taking away your bending for good.
While Yukon was put in jail after Aang's energy bending, he managed to escape, and with the help of a surgeon changed his appearance. And we'd need a real doctor to analyze what's going on there, but that new face seems expensive. Yukon then sought refuge in the Northern Water Tribe, where he met his wife and had 2 children, Amon, who at the time they named Noatak, and 3 years later, another son named Tarlok. As soon as the boys were only a few years old, Yukon discovered that his children had inherited his extraordinarily powerful waterbending.
Tarlok! You better shape up or you'll be out here in the cold all night until you get it right.
I'm trying, but...
Try harder!
Yukon later explained that their family had the strongest line of bloodbenders in history, and he was intent on training his sons to seek revenge.
You two will become bloodbenders of the highest order. When the time is right, you will claim Republic City, and you will destroy the Avatar. You must avenge me. That is your purpose in life.
Yikes. Seems like Noatak and Amon thought they were just going on a fun camping trip. Well, it turns out that every full moon after that, Yukon would secretly teach his sons bloodbending. While his younger brother Tarlok was a promising bender, Noatak was the true prodigy of the family and mastered psychic bloodbending without the use of his hands by the age of 14. Eventually, twisted by his desire for revenge, Yukon forced his sons to bloodbend each other.
Excellent.
When Tarlok refused to bloodbend Noatak, Yukon became furious and threatened his youngest child. But Noatak stepped in, bloodbending his father, who was helpless to resist after facing the Avatar.
You always say bloodbending is the most powerful thing in the world, but it isn't. The Avatar is. He took your bending away. What could be more powerful than that?
Noatak ran away for good that night, and his family assumed he perished in a snowstorm. But in the years that followed, the idea of the Avatar being unstoppable nevertheless shaped Noatak into who his father wanted him to be. By the age of 40, he held a true belief that ridding the world of benders would be for its benefit. Noatak then assumed the alias of Amon and created the Equalists to start a full-on anti-bending revolution. When we see his trademark mask on a sign in Republic City, Amon had already come into his own as a skilled political and military strategist. The Equalists had a growing army, secret bases, and possibly most important, a propaganda machine swaying public support against benders. When Mako and Korra snuck into the Equalists' anti-bending rally, they found an underground auditorium with a stage, lights, and even a hype man stirring up a massive crowd.
Your hero,
your savior, Amon!
While terrifying, it's undeniable that Amon was a gifted public speaker and knew how to put on a show. Pandering to the crowd's prejudice, Amon developed a perfectly crafted backstory for his cause, claiming a firebender killed his family and disfigured his face. Amon then continued to boast that the spirits had granted him the ability to remove someone's bending, and the Equalist leader decided to demonstrate this with a duel. While it was actually just a specialized form of chi blocking, Amon had still unlocked a power only previously possessed by an avatar. These chi blocking effects were seemingly permanent and irreversible.
What did you do to me? Your firebending is gone. Forever.
As possibly the greatest threat she could ever face, Avatar Korra looked on in terror as the crowd cheered for Amon. While Shimako and Bolin were able to escape, Amon further showed off his strategic planning by deliberately stopping his forces from following her, knowing that a fearful avatar would promote his agenda to the public.
Let her go. She's the perfect messenger to tell the city of my power.
A few days later, another one of Amon's abilities unveiled itself as the memory of the rally began to plague Korra with nightmares.
After I take your bending away, you will be nothing.
Amon's fear tactics had invaded Korra's mind, and it started causing her to become reckless. Korra challenged Amon at a press conference and played right into his hand when he and his chi blockers ambushed her on Air Temple Island. While Amon promised their eventual fight, he knew better than to stop Korra too early and continued to use her as a pawn in his political game.
Although it would be the simplest thing for me to take away your bending right now, I won't. You'd only become a martyr.
Soon after, we learned that it was directly related to Korra's involvement in pro-bending when Amon threatened to attack the finals over a hijacked radio broadcast. The Republic City Council underestimated the Equalist resources and ignored the threat, which again, Amon predicted.
Perfect. Everything is going according to plan.
Aside from Amon's brilliant strategies, he was also aware that as non-benders, his forces needed the most advanced technology to complete their goal. Using electrified weaponry, the Equalists could fight on an even playing field with benders, and with the element of surprise, they took over the pro-bending arena in a matter of seconds. It's also during this fight that we get to see how skilled Amon is in hand-to-hand combat. As three powerful benders assault him with full force, Amon easily dodges every single attack. It's worth speculating. Was he subtly using bloodbending to enhance his agility? With an even more public demonstration of his chi blocking, we learn Amon's real desire was to spread fear not just through Republic City, but to every bender around the world.
My followers and I will not rest until the entire city achieves equality. And once that goal is achieved, we will equalize the rest of the world. The revolution has begun!
Soon after, we learned that Amon's brother Tarlok, who is now a Republic City councilman, had also been trying to undermine Avatar Korra. When she confronted him, Tarlok struck first with the extraordinarily powerful waterbending he inherited from his father. We rarely got to see Amon actually waterbend, but his brother's fight gives us a pretty good indicator of their shared abilities. Amon likely mastered each of these advanced waterbending techniques and then some. Tarlok's bloodbending had certainly grown more powerful, but he still had to use his hands to deliver a blow that Amon could likely accomplish solely with his mind. This was perfectly on display when Amon later confronted Tarlok, showcasing his ability to resist bloodbending while chi blocking at the same time.
What are you?
I am the solution.
Also, let's not forget that Amon's skill to forge alliances, like aligning himself with the industrial tycoon Hiroshi Sato, gave his forces their electrified weapons, mech suits, airships, and more. The advanced tech might have been the Equalist's single greatest asset.
I've dreamed of this day for so long.
Yes, the time has come for the Equalists to claim Republic City as their own.
After successfully taking over much of Republic City and removing the chief of police as a threat, Amon revealed the next phase of his plan, systematically mass chi blocking any and all benders his forces captured.
You will now be cleansed of your impurity. Next.
We never learn where or how Amon masters his near irreversible chi blocking. Normally a chi blocker has to attack every limb on a bender to stop their abilities, and it's only temporary. All Amon has to do is touch someone's forehead. But was he actually using some form of bloodbending to do this? And with his psychic bloodbending, could he have eventually unlocked chi blocking someone only with his mind? Now that's a horrifying thought. By the time Korra learned the truth of Amon's past and confronted him, we see he's already prepared a convincing makeup effect to further his narrative as a martyr.
This is what a firebender did to me.
When the fight finally broke out, Amon's superb agility was on display again, but his most terrifying power was shown facing off against Mako and Korra when he rendered them completely powerless.
Let her go!
No!
Korra!
When the lieutenant arrived, Amon didn't seem to exert any extra effort to fling him like a rag doll across the room. In this brief moment, however, Amon was possibly just distracted enough for Mako to free his fingers loose enough to fire off a lightning bolt. After an attack that might hospitalize someone else, we see Amon's incredible resilience. He seems completely unharmed when he quickly catches up to Mako and Korra.
I'm impressed. No one has ever gotten the better of me like that.
If not for the twist of fate that Korra could unlock her airbending unaffected by chi blocking, the Equalists still might have won their war. When Amon was knocked unconscious underwater, for the first time we got to see his true control of waterbending as he instinctually bent himself to safety with a master-level water spout. As Amon's makeup washed away, so did the perfect deception he spent years to create, and the public saw him for who he truly was. While Amon escaped, easily dodging Mako's attacks, he turned to the one person he had left in the world. Freeing Tarlok, he asked for a second chance, and after many years apart, it seemed like maybe they could make a better life for themselves together. But shortly into the trip, it became apparent that Amon could never escape his father's legacy, and Tarlok took their fate into his own hands. This dark decision could be interpreted in a number of ways, but perhaps Tarlok simply realized that the power of their bloodline would be better left where it could do no more harm at the bottom of the sea.
How did one man go from sleeping in the streets to saving the entire world? Let's take a closer look at Wan's bending evolution and break down how he became the very first Avatar.
Nobody steals from the Chu brothers!
Really? Because I just did.
10,000 years ago, Wan was living in the slums of a lion turtle city. He relied on his speed and agility to survive, and it didn't hurt that he was clever. He couldn't defend himself by bending because he actually wasn't a bender at all. Wan is the only Avatar who actually grew up as a non-bender. But how did he start bending? Back then, the elements were a temporary ability that were given to humans by the lion turtles. Fire was used by humans to fight off spirits when venturing into the wild. Using it against other humans was forbidden, but Wan was never one to follow the rules.
What did you do? You can't steal from the lion turtle? Really? Because I just did.
After Wan stole fire from the lion turtle, he rallied his friends together to raid the Chu Palace.
Follow me! No, please! Have mercy! Wan?
Never again may you return to this city. But I will allow you to keep the power of the element.
Bet he doesn't last till morning.
All Wan had was fire and his will to survive. He didn't have any masters or any fellow benders. He was alone with an element he didn't fully understand. To make matters worse, he was in the middle of nowhere surrounded by dangerous spirits.
You're just a little frog.
Who's little now?
Wan grew up fearing the spirits. But after rescuing the cat deer, they became his allies.
Get out of the way! No!
He met spirits of all shapes and sizes. Among them lived the dragons. Since dragons also possess the ability of fire, maybe they can teach Wan a thing or two. Wan studied the movements of the dragons. By incorporating those movements with his bending, he made fire an extension of his body. It was something that no one had ever seen before. Wan became a full-fledged firebender, and his first element was Master. After 2 years of living with the spirits, it was time for Wan to see the rest of the world. He knew if he found other lion turtles, he could find other elements. But it wouldn't be long before he got himself into trouble once again. Meet Rava and Vatu, the spirits of light and darkness. After Wan mistakenly released Vatu, the dark spirit was ready to unleash chaos on the whole world. The only way to defeat Vatu was for Wan and Rava to team up.
I can't let the world fall into chaos because of my mistake. Neither of us can defeat Vatu alone, but together we have a chance.
But it would take a little more than fire. It was time for Wan to learn a new element. He saw more humans on another lion turtle, who possessed some kind of wind power.
No human has ever held two elements at the same time.
I'm not like other humans.
The only way for me to give you the other element is to pass through your body and combine our energies.
I'm ready. Give me the air. It feels completely different.
Over the course of the next year, Wan and Rava traveled around the world to find more lion turtles. Along the way, he was given the power of 2 more elements, water and earth. The order in which Wan learned the elements is how the Avatar cycle began. Fire, air, water, earth.
I feel like I'm changing. The more we practice, the stronger I become.
As time went on, Wan grew even stronger. As did Vaatu. Vaatu began to turn spirits and humans against each other. Wan had friends on both sides, and they were on the brink of war.
Get out of the forest, humans!
Wait! We can resolve this peacefully. Rava! We need to combine our energies. Maybe then we'll have enough power to stop this. Enough! You need to stop fighting now, before you destroy each other!
He's controlling all 4 elements. Wan, I have to leave your body or I'll destroy you.
No! It's working! If you leave, the fighting will start again.
Wan! As long as Vaatu was free, his darkness would only get stronger, and the end of the world was drawing near.
Are you ready for our final battle, Rava?
Before you get to her, you'll have to go through me.
No human can stand against me.
Haven't you heard the legends? I'm not a regular human anymore.
It was time to combine all 4 elements with the power of Rava.
Rava! The only way to win is together!
In the final battle to save the world, the Avatar was born.
We are bonded forever.
This is your prison now. And I will close the portal so no human will ever be able to physically enter the spirit world and release you.
Imprisoning Vaatu was only the beginning. As the Avatar, Wan made it his mission to guide the world towards peace. Even when Wan's time came, Rava would continue what he started.
Even with Vaatu locked away, darkness still surrounds humanity. There wasn't enough time.
Don't worry. We will be together for all of your lifetimes. And we will never give up.
You gotta deal with it!
Here is a closer look at Avatar Korra's bending evolution. As we study the growth of Korra, we'll be exploring how she learned to bend all of the elements, her connection to the spirit world, and defeating her own inner demons.
Who do you think you are?
Why don't you come and find out?
At just 4 years old, she was already showing immense strength in fire, earth, and water bending. She spent 13 years in training in the South Pole under the Order of the White Lotus. She even learned healing techniques from Master Katara.
No! Ooh, that's the stuff.
Korra fully embraced her avatarhood. She wanted to be the most powerful one ever. There was just one small problem.
Airbend.
She could not figure out airbending just yet.
What is wrong with me? Airbend!
Luckily for Korra, she had the son of the Last Airbender himself.
Look at you, so big and strong. You've grown into quite the young Avatar.
Master Tenzin, I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to get started.
Air is the element of freedom. The air nomads would use their bending to travel the world. Korra spent her whole life in the Southern Water Tribe before joining Tenzin in Republic City. So it is possible her air block may have originated from her sheltered life in the South Pole.
Often the element that's the most difficult for the Avatar to master is the one most opposite to the Avatar's personality. For Aang, it was Earthbending.
Rock beats Airbender.
Airbending requires discipline, peace of mind, and patience. And Korra was, well, stubborn, aggressive, and extremely impatient.
Yeah, you're telling me to embrace freedom, but you won't even let me listen to the radio?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, it's not sinking in yet.
Maybe the reason I haven't learned airbending yet is because you're a terrible teacher.
None of this airbending stuff makes any sense to me.
I know you're frustrated, but these teachings will sink in over time. Then, one day, they'll just click.
At the start of her training, Tenzin instructed Korra to meditate in order to free her mind and connect with her spiritual self. But Korra didn't want to meditate. Why would she? She's the Avatar. She needed to fight. Where better than Republic City's pro-bending arena?
The rookie ferrets came from out of nowhere and have made it further than anyone expected this season.
Come on, ferrets!
Pro-bending had a swagger to it that Korra had never seen before. This looked way better than meditating with Tenzin all day. Timing was on her side, because the fire ferrets were short one bender. They recruited the Avatar and taught her how to fight like a true pro.
Wow! Nice adjustment! You're a natural at this.
Even though Korra could only bend water during the tournament, it didn't stop her from incorporating other bending styles.
Airbending is all about spiral movements. When you meet resistance, you must be able to switch direction at a moment's notice.
Hold the phone, stop the presses. She's still in the game, folks, and she's moving like an entirely different player. All of a sudden, the platypus bear strikes her only striking air.
How about that?
What an unbelievable effort here by Korra. She's dodging every element the Wasp can throw at her. The Avatar finally gained some ground, but with only 10 seconds remaining, it might be too little too late. It's the big kabaj! What a knockout!
But unbeknownst to Korra, her time as a pro-bender was merely setting up her first real fight.
There is a madman running around our beloved city, threatening to tear it apart.
He can take people's bending away. For good.
Korra was terrified of Amon. But when his forces attacked the pro-bending arena, she did not hesitate to spring into action. This wasn't a normal day of training. This was the real deal. With no air, water, or earth available, she relied on her firebending to take on Amon's lieutenant. Korra was making some progress with her air training, but she still couldn't airbend. As if that wasn't enough, she also couldn't contact any of the past avatars for guidance.
I'm the worst avatar ever.
Communicating with past avatars was one of the hardest hurdles for any avatar to clear. Korra's seen some flashes of Aang, but the message wasn't fully there yet.
I believe Aang's spirit must be trying to tell you something.
Even though Korra couldn't get help from Aang, she still had her friends. Meet the new Team Avatar.
You think this'll do?
They begin rounding up equalists across Republic City. But once they started interfering with Councilman Tarlok's task force, tensions begin to rise.
You're a bloodbender?
Very observant.
With nowhere to go and no one to call for help, Korra had only one option. She took one deep breath and cleared her head. She was finally able to connect with Aang. He showed her a memory from his adulthood, the story of how he took down another bloodbending master, Yakone. Aang was able to overpower Yakone's bloodbending by entering the Avatar state and taking away his bending. Seems easy, right?
Aang, this whole time, you were trying to warn me about Tarlok.
Okay, let's jump ahead to the final showdown against Amon.
Amon has been lying to you. The spirits didn't give him the power to take people's bending away. He uses blood bending to do it. Amon is a waterbender. His father was Yakone, and his brother is Councilman Tarlok.
Once Korra revealed Amon's secret, he used it on Korra the first chance he had.
None of this airbending stuff makes any sense to me.
I know you're frustrated, but these teachings will sink in over time. Then, one day,
No!
they'll just click.
Did you see what happened?
Even though Amon was gone, the damage done to Korra couldn't be undone. Not even Master Katara's healing could bring back her bending.
Korra can still airbend, but her connection to the other elements has been severed.
It's going to be all right, Korra.
No, it's not. I'm not the Avatar anymore. Not now, Tenzin. I just want to be left alone.
But you called me here.
Aang.
You have finally connected with your spiritual self.
How?
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
Avatar state, a titanic power that is not to be used recklessly, unless you're Korra.
No fair! You can't go into the Avatar state to win!
You did what? The Avatar state is not to be used as a booster rocket.
Korra was now a master of all four elements, and she can enter the Avatar state at will. But her discipline and carelessness still needed some work.
Clearly, you need more training to grasp the depths of your spiritual connections.
The Avatar is the bridge between the spirit world and the physical world. And with the spirits becoming unbalanced, she needed to learn how to face them. That is where Unalaq came in.
There are no evil spirits. There is light and dark in them all. But when they're unbalanced, the darkness takes over.
Her uncle showed Korra that with the proper training, a waterbending master can bend the spirits themselves. Spirit bending is an advanced form of healing with water. By healing the energy within the spirits, Unalaq can calm the spirit and return them to the spirit world. Again, it's a highly advanced technique, but Korra was eager to master it. Korra's combative bending fended off the stronger spirits, but the first time she tried to bend the spirit itself, it was disastrous. Korra washed up on an unfamiliar beach with no memory. The giant spirit she battled had infected her with dark energy.
We must purge it before it destroys her avatar spirit. Let the waters cleanse the darkness that plagues your spirit.
My name is Wan, and I will show you how I became the first Avatar.
Wan became the Avatar by fusing with Rava, the Spirit of Light. She granted him the power to bend all 4 elements. Together, they imprisoned Batu, the Spirit of Darkness.
This is your prison now. And I will close the portal so no human will ever be able to physically enter the spirit world and release you.
The only way to get Batu was to open a portal to the spirit world, which Korra had already done as part of Unalaq's training. But it turned out, Unalaq's plan all along was to release Batu. Unalaq had fused with Batu the same way Rava fused with Wan 10,000 years prior.
Now, 10,000 years of darkness begins.
There may still be a way for you to stop Vatu. Connect to the cosmic energy of the universe. Don't bend the elements, but the energy within yourself.
You really think I can do this?
I have no doubt.
And in classic Avatar fashion, she became a
Blue Giant!
Korra's next exam, going toe-to-toe with the Spirit of Darkness in an epic clash of the Colossus. Using the same technique her uncle taught her, Korra spirit bent Batu and Unalaq along with him. She had saved the world from slipping into 10,000 years of darkness.
Go in peace.
The battle between Korra and the Dark Avatar unleashed enough spiritual energy to cover the planet. The shifted spiritual energy affected dozens, if not hundreds, of non-benders around the world. One by one, non-benders were waking up with airbending abilities.
Ah! Wow, that still hurt a lot.
Team Avatar traveled the world to recruit and train new airbenders. Along the way, they traveled to the city of Zaofu, the home of the Metal Clan. That's where Korra met Suyin Beifong and her metal bending students. Under Suyin's training, Korra became the first metal bending avatar.
Try to focus on the fine pieces of earth within the metal.
I can't believe it. I'm metal bending.
She picked up metal bending pretty quickly, just as she did earth bending.
Woohoo! Metal bending champion!
Korra was also beginning to do some teaching herself. Suyin's daughter Opal was one of these new airbenders.
You want to keep your elbows in, torso straight, feet just skimming the ground.
Just a few years prior, Korra once thought airbending was impossible. Now she was instructing it.
You're a natural.
You really think so? Thanks.
But she wouldn't be teaching for very long. Unbeknownst to Korra, one of these new airbenders was plotting against her.
It's the dawning of a new age. The end of the White Lotus. And soon, the end of the Avatar.
We need to get Korra out of here immediately. Her life's in danger.
I'm not running.
Korra, you don't understand. These criminals are like nothing you've ever faced before.
A combustion bender, a lava bender, an armless water bender, and an airbender that can fly.
Guess he doesn't need a ride.
They weren't going to rest until the Avatar was destroyed forever. What's even scarier is they were very close to succeeding.
Once we administer this poison, your body will naturally react, forcing you into the Avatar state in an effort to keep you alive. When we dispatch you in the Avatar state, the cycle will end. Korra, the last Avatar. Now! Destroy the Avatar!
Korra taking on the Red Lotus was more than good versus evil. She was fighting for her life. And with that urgency, Korra hit all new levels of power. Using her raw strength, she broke out of the platinum chains and used her firebending as a jet engine to chase down Zahir. But it was only a matter of time before the poison caught up to her, and Zahir knew she didn't have long.
The Avatar cycle will be over momentarily.
Luckily for Korra, she had something that even Avatar Aang never had. An entire squad of airbenders at her back.
She'll be fine. She just needs time to heal. The poison took a great toll.
With the world getting more and more dangerous, we need the Avatar now more than ever. Who will protect us while she's in a wheelchair?
Korra went back to the Southern Water Tribe. Master Katara was going to help her get back into Avatar shape. Her recovery was supposed to take a few weeks, but she was gone for 3 years.
We've been at this for almost 6 months, and I can barely take a couple of steps without collapsing.
You're okay. Your body thinks it is still in danger, but you're safe here. Use your mind to overcome the pain.
Katara helped as much as she could, but Korra simply could not get herself back into Avatar shape. At the beginning of her journey, a firebending sparring match was a piece of cake for her. Now, she couldn't last 1 minute.
Dear Asami, the past 2 years have been the hardest of my life. Even though I can get around fine now, I still can't go into the Avatar state. Sometimes I worry I'll never fully recover.
But Aang once said hitting your lowest points led to the greatest change. Korra was never lower, and that's when the greatest change came.
I can't believe it. Tough?
Nice to see you again, Twinkle Toes.
The 86-year-old blind bandit felt Korra still had a little bit of poison lingering inside of her.
I'm not bending it out of you. You've got to do this on your own. Focus your energy. Find the metal. Let it move through your body. Release the fear. Well done, Korra.
The Avatar is back in business!
After reuniting with Jinora Ikki and Milo, she learned there was a new threat. Kuvira was taking over the entire Earth Kingdom. The world needed the Avatar back.
Avatar Korra. I'm the one who brought peace to the Earth Empire, not you. You're not relevant here anymore.
Fine. You want to fight the Avatar? Then let's finish this. Right here, right now.
Korra threw all of the earth, wind, and fire at Kuvira, but wouldn't be enough. She was too strong.
You have to go into the Avatar state. Do it!
I knew you were weak.
Even with no poison and the power of the Avatar state, she couldn't beat Kuvira. Something was still missing. She still wasn't 100% Avatar Korra just yet. Korra had one more idea. Her last and probably her most desperate resort.
I figured you would show up sooner or later. Let me lead you into the spirit world. We may have been enemies once, but for now, our interests align. Let it play out.
I can't!
You can. Accept what happened to you. Don't fear what might have been.
I have no control!
Don't be afraid. Hold on.
I made it. And you led me here. I feel whole again. I feel good.
Do you think you're finally able to forget about what Zahir did to you?
No. But I am finally able to accept what happened, and I think that's gonna make me stronger.
The Avatar was back, for real this time. Now began the real final battle. The showdown at Republic City. It was time for Korra versus Kuvira round 2, and the Avatar would not hold back this time. It was a full court press. Surrounded by metal, Kuvira threw all she could at Korra. This time, Korra fought metal with metal. But of course, Korra never hesitates to use fire and once again displayed her raw strength. There were no excuses this time. Defeating Kuvira was now or never. But Kuvira had one more trick up her sleeve. Bending the power of the spirit cannon, Korra created a new portal in the heart of Republic City. All Korra ever wanted to be was a full-fledged avatar. She used to think it meant bending all 4 elements, but she realized it meant saving the world and all who inhabit it, even if some of those people are your enemies.
I know I was in a pretty dark place after I was poisoned, but I finally understand why I had to go through all that. I needed to understand what true suffering was, so I could become more compassionate to others, even to people like Kuvira.
You don't know how happy I am to hear you so full of hope again.
It's been a bit of a bumpy ride, huh?
I've come to realize life is one big bumpy ride.
That wraps up Avatar Korra's Bending Evolution. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching for all things Avatar.